I do want to issue a warning to folks out there watching right now. Viewer discretion is advised for this very bizarre story, as two Texas men have been indicted for an alleged scheme to sail to a foreign island, murder all of the men, and enslave the women and children on the island. Legal documents saying that the men planned and trained for this for nearly a year. Gavin Rivers Weisenberg, 21 years old, seen there on the left-hand side of your screen, and Tanner Christopher Thomas, 20 years old, have been indicted by a grand jury on counts of conspiracy to murder, maim, or kidnap in a foreign country and production of child pornography. The charges were given for the pair's extensive plans to travel to an island, part of the Republic of Haiti, to attempt a coup d'etat. Again, that is all according to the documents. Weisenberg and Thomas prepared, we're told, from August 2024 to July 2025 to execute those plans, which did have very interesting information. They say that they allegedly intended to buy a boat, sail to the island, and then kill every man on the island, overtake it by force, and take the women and children as slaves. This island, we're told, has a population of about 87,000. I want to discuss all of this and how it plays out legally, so let's bring in Sam Bassett, criminal defense attorney. Sam, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and discuss this story. Again, viewer discretion is advised here.
Thank you.
Of course. And first off, I do want to ask you kind of how the U.S. law plays into all of this, because we are talking about a plot to take over a foreign island, part of the Republic of Haiti.
I think you have to remember when you're charged with a conspiracy, that doesn't always mean that you carry out the conspiracy or commit the actual object crime of the conspiracy. The crime is planning and taking overt action to execute an illegal act, even if it is in a foreign country. The other count that they're charged with is a more simple count of production of child pornography and ostensibly possession of child pornography. So those are the two aspects of this case.
What exactly when you talk about that first charge of conspiracy, what is it that law enforcement, prosecutors, all of them really have to prove?
They have to prove that the people involved, the two defendants, intended to carry out the object of the conspiracy, and that they took overt actions in furtherance of the conspiracy. In other words, they have to prove discrete actions that advanced the cause of the conspiracy. Even if the conspiracy didn't meet its end goal, if they prove enough, even if they prove one overt act and the agreement to commit the crime, that is, under the law, enough.
What is the defense likely to argue here? Obviously, we can't look into the future. We don't have a crystal ball, anything of that nature. But what is it likely the defense will try to argue here?
I don't know. I mean, it's a hard case to defend, probably. I'm guessing they had somebody on the inside, a cooperating individual, or maybe a cooperating co-conspirator, who provided the government the information. So perhaps the defense might say that they were entrapped into this if there is another co-conspirator involved, or perhaps they might argue that they weren't really serious about this, that this was kind of a ruse, a silly thing that they really didn't intend to carry out. So, the intent issue is probably going to be something that the defense harps on, and possibly a co-conspirator's influence if there is a cooperating co-conspirator that we don't know yet.
As we talk about evidence, of course, the information that we have is coming in from our Fox 4 Dallas team. They obtained the court documents here. There's a lot of information, but still a lot of questions. What questions do you have that you're kind of wondering about as you watch this case unfold?
Well, I'm wondering how they discovered this. Obviously, I think I have to assume that there's somebody that's not identified in the initial indictment and court documents that was talking to one or both of these individuals and probably turned over either recollections of those conversations, or maybe they were even monitored or recorded conversations to federal investigators who followed up. And then they dotted the I's and crossed the T's by looking into the military training records, the firefighter records, and even this bizarre sailing school in Thailand issue. So it's hard to know. There's a lot more to this story. We're just seeing the surface of it at this point.
And it's incredibly disturbing. We did discuss some of the details there, but there is a lot to it that police, law enforcement, court documents do claim there that this was a plot that could have been carried out. How serious are we talking with potential penalties? Are we talking life in prison?
On the more serious conspiracy charge, it does carry up to a life sentence. The child pornography charge or production of child pornography charge carries a substantial sentence as well. I would guess that the production of child pornography is also important to proving the conspiracy because it shows how serious these people were about carrying out this object of the conspiracy to have an island where women and girls were abducted and sexually assaulted. So it seems like a problematic situation, to say the least, for these defendants.
Sam Bassett, thank you so much for taking the time to provide some expertise as, of course, we do wait for additional information on all of this. Is there anything we missed, anything you want to make sure to add here before I let you go?
Well, it's just the feds rarely put together a weak case, so they had to have been working on this for a number of months. And I'm guessing there's substantial evidence here that they have that will be revealed over time that led to this indictment.
All right. Sam, thank you again for being here. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
And of course, you are looking at the two suspects here in this case. A lot of information coming in from our Fox 4 Dallas team. Viewer discretion advised, as we also learned that from those court documents from July 2024 to May 2025, the suspects took Haitian Creole classes to prepare for the coup. And then in August of 2024, Weisenberg enrolled at the North Texas Fire Academy that's over in Rockwall, and this was allegedly an effort to gain training and useful skills for their plot. January of this year, those documents say that Thomas enlisted in the U.S. Air Force and that he intended to use his military training for the planned overthrow of the island. In February, Weisenberg failed out of that fire training. February 20th of 2025, Weisenberg bought tickets to Thailand, at least partially, to enroll in a sailing course to prepare for getting to the island. And the indictment says once he got to Thailand, he never enrolled because it cost too much. In March, Thomas managed to change his Air Force assignment from a base in Germany to one over in Maryland, and the indictment claims this was both to stay in the U.S. to continue planning that coup and to attempt to recruit homeless people from the D.C. area to help. The suspects are accused of attempting to recruit others to help with the coup, both online and in person, on various dates from August of last year to May of this year. A lot to this here. We will make sure to bring you any sort of information that we do get.